Good morning. We're going to be in Proverbs 31 this morning, and it's entitled Finding Honor, and it's about godly women. Let's read Proverbs 31, verse 10. Who could find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. A virtuous woman, or a woman of noble character, has a high value. Her value is much better than wealth. She can be trusted by her husband. She provides good things for her husband and her household. She does no evil. She is a partner to her husband. Their marriage is a testimony to the power of God. Their home is blessed, supported, and encouraged. Now let's read from Ephesians 5:22 through 33. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the Savior of the body. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let wives be to their own husbands in everything. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word, that he might present it to himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy and without blemish. So ought men to love their wives as their own bodies. He that loveth his wife loveth himself. For no man ever yet hated his own flesh, but nourisheth and cherisheth it, even as the Lord the church. For we are members of his body, of his flesh, and of his bones. For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall be joined unto his wife, and they two shall be one flesh. This is a great mystery, but I speak concerning Christ and the church. Nevertheless, let every one of you in particular so love his wife even as himself, and the wife see that she reverence her husband. Now let's move on under the heading of wives and her work. Let's read Proverbs 31:13 through 16. She seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant ships. She bringeth her food from afar. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. She considereth a field, and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands she planteth a vineyard. So this woman buys material and makes good things for the home. She works very willingly. She brings in all the necessary resources for her home. She's not idle. She's not lazy. She gets up early while it is still dark outside to prepare food for the day. Food not only for her family, but also for others who may work in the household. She buys land and plants a vineyard. She earns money from it. What she does benefits everyone in the home. Under the hiding of sure in her reputation. Let's read Proverbs 31:23 through 27. Her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land. She maketh fine linen, and selleth it, and delivereth girdles unto the merchant. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. The husband has a good reputation because of his wife. She makes clothing enough to sell and make extra money. Strength and honor are her clothing. She can rejoice in the future because she's prepared for the future. She's wise in speech. She is patient and loving with her words. She watches carefully over her household. She is not lazy or idle. Now under the heading of honored through fearing God, let's read Proverbs 31:28 through 31. Her children arise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praiseth her. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest them all. Favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. A woman that's described here is honored by her children. Her husband praises her and honors her. Other people recognize her value. There are limitations to favor and beauty, but a woman who fears the Lord receives great praise. The results of her own works also bring praise. Now, some of the reasons that people and women especially who behave like this woman, because they're made in the image of God. And we'll just go back and read real quick Genesis 1:26-30. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful, and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. And God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. And to every beast of the field, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat. And it was so. God created us in his image. Christ died for us. Every person possesses dignity. Every person is worthy of respect. People have great potential when they honor and follow God's plan for their lives, just as this woman is described in Proverbs 31. Now here's a quick summary. Believers are to honor their marriage commitments. Believers are to provide for the needs of their families. Believers are to use their influence for the kingdom. And believers are to honor God with their lives. Thank you.